Hello, Mallards. It is Wednesday, and you're seeing this video on Thursday, but I am about to play a round of lasers and feelings with some friends online, and so enjoy that. Welcome to the interstellar scout ship, the Raptor, captained by the famed Captain Darcy. And includes an alien scientist named Jehoshaphat McTentacles. Sorry, Dr. Jehoshaphat McTentacles. Our android doctor, AroOoga Bot. The android engineer, Angel 8. An alien explorer who's just along for the ride, Zander Colfax. And our human pilot, pretty savvy chick, Cyn Solo. Your mission, of course, is to explore the uncharted regions of space, deal with aliens both friendly and deadly, and defend the consortium and your ship against space dangers. This morning, when you all sat down for breakfast, Captain Darcy explained to you that he has been overcome by the strange psychic entity known as something else to do. And left you to fend for yourselves while he recovers in your only medical pod. As the Raptor is a nimble ship with superior sensors, but only one medical pod. You have been going about your day in the normal way when you hear an alert come over the ship's system. We have received a message from the consortium. It goes as follows. Zorgon the Conqueror has set out to destroy the Star Dreadnought in the next system over. And of course, as everybody knows, destroying the Star Dreadnought would destroy the entire solar system. And this
has been time to move, buds.
Daily Consortium News Update. Thank you so much for tuning in.
You're welcome.
All right. And the time has come. What do you want to do?
How attached do we feel to the solar system? Just asking.
I would say that most solar systems are important to the consortium. And this one is.
Yes, but this one's just a rock. It follows around a dying sun. Just seems.
It's mostly important because the Star Dreadnought is there, and that is one of the most important ships in the consortium fleet. It is a huge explorer vessel that happens to be powered by dark matter, which is why destroying it would destroy an entire solar system, because it will create a black hole.
Can the ship not move?
Oh, that's a great question. Maybe you should try and convince them to move.
Can we hail them? Like, how far can we send a message to them or not?
Send a message to the Star Dreadnought? Yeah, I think that you could. You guys are in the next system over, so communication won't be instantaneous. But you certainly could send a message and receive a message on a little bit of a delay if you want to do that.
Can I phone my friend Franklin, the Moss man who lives on the Star Dreadnought, just to get the general vibe of what the things are going on there?
Yeah, absolutely you can. What sort of message are you sending?
What's up? It's your boy. What's going on? Things seem pretty dicey.
All right. You send that message and everybody else sort of continues about their day, and you feel like, yeah, we've done what we needed to do. We're going to find out what's going on in the Star Dreadnought. Oh yeah, go ahead. Jehoshaphat?
Yes, I would like to use our ship's extended sensors to see if we see any of the what's his name? Zorgon the Destroyer?
Zorgon the Conqueror.
Zorgon the Conqueror. Okay, can we see if we can sense any of his ships?
Oh yeah.
See how close, if they're close enough to detect.
Yeah, go for that. You are going to go ahead and roll. That will be a lasers roll to use the ship's sensors. And you want to roll.
It's a pair of fours.
Oh, a pair of fours. Hey, look, you have laser feelings.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So with laser feelings, you absolutely succeed. It's 2 successes. So you are able to send the sensors out. And actually, with the superior sensors of this ship, you see Zorgon the Conqueror's fleet really, really recognizable on the interstellar radar because they fly their ships exclusively in Z formations.
See, this is what I've been telling you for years, Jehoshaphat. Brand recognition. Brand recognition.
And so you do spot them, and let's assume that the system that you guys are in is in between where Zorgon's fleet is and where the Star Dreadnought is currently doing its research. So you actually could intercept him on his journey.
Or
you can get there
we
fast
could get
enough.
out of the way.
Or you get out of the way and just let everything explode. You are concerned that the black hole might grow and start to take over more solar systems, but the initial explosion will definitely destroy one. But also, because you got laser feelings, you get to ask me a question, and I will answer it honestly.
Can you tell me a little bit more about Zorgon the Conqueror? Like, what's his deal?
Yes, I can. So Zorgon the Conqueror, what you guys know from the Consortium files is he was actually a member of the Consortium a while ago, an explorer who went out to find alien worlds and see what the rest of the world was about. And at some point, he ran into an alien world that had a class 2 set of life forms, so less industrial, pre-industrial life forms. And when he was there, all of the life on that planet started to think, man, look at this guy and all of the things that he can do and how incredible he is with all of his laser and feeling abilities. And as a result, they started worshiping him as a god. And Zorgon, in true Road to El Dorado fashion, decided that that was pretty great. And he was like, yeah, I can embrace this. I'm really into this. And then he thought, it's not good enough to be the god of just this civilization here on this one planet. And so he broke with the consortium and started traveling and interfering with life on class 1 and class 2 planets to become a god among the stars. In as many places as possible, leaving behind envoys, building temples, collecting resources from these planets. That's how he gained the Zorgon the Conqueror, which is how he's known to you in the Consortium. Of course, the people of the planets that he has attended all know him as Zorgon, the great god of the stars.
That explains why he sounds so familiar. Oh, man.
See, maybe you were right. Maybe brand recognition does matter. If when you say his name, we're like, oh, that guy.
Yeah, no, I was a class 2 star system. Like, that's the thing. Like, he came over, and then he took over, and then, thank God I grew up an atheist.
Suddenly, Zander's like, oh no, now I don't know what to do. I'm going to be sent to destroy this guy that my parents really believe in. How does one kill God?
It's gonna make things real weird on December 25th. Zorgon is Great Day.
That will, in fact, make it complicated. It's about this time after you've done a little bit with the sensors and sent stuff out that you receive a message back from your sentient moss friend aboard the Star Dreadnought. And he responds with, "What's up, my boy? It's your friend, Moss Man. And I was just thinking that I miss you. So it's cool that you sent a message. Anyway, the vibes here are great. We're doing some sick research on this dead rock, trying to find an ancient civilization. Heard a message that Zorgon is coming. I don't really know what that means. I don't know that guy. But the captain says that our research is the most important thing because it's going to change the future. So he said we can't leave.
What if I
Anyway, if
told
you
you,
wanted to help,
as an
that'd be great.
explorer, I know of an even cooler ancient civilization, a few star solar systems that direction?
You send that message off, and you'll wait just a little bit for a response. Does anybody else want to do anything? Fox, I heard we're just going to get out of the way and let them destroy each other.
I was just throwing it out there as a pitch. It's an option. We want to get all our options out there.
I mean, no, I'm not going to say that.
Here's a question. How far do we know how the weaponry on Zorgon's fleet compares with what we have?
Oh, well, I mean, he has a well-armored fleet with fighter craft.
And
So,
all we got
not
is my
well.
boxing glove arrow.
Boxing glove arrow. The real question that I'm asking is, what, if anything, could we do to slow Zorgon down on the way to the Star Destroyer or the Dreadnought?
Is the answer sex? Is
Yeah,
it
I'm hot.
Is Zorgon hot? Yeah, I mean, probably. You don't worship
Yeah,
an
sure.
unattractive god.
That's that's a
Certainly, you
relative
don't call him
term.
the great god of the stars if he's unattractive. You call him
Yeah.
Zorgon, the hideous.
The unfortunate.
Now, I heard about this ancient civilization back on this weird run-down marble of a planet called Earth. Weird place. About this sky god that was super horny all the time.
Oh my God, it is my time to shine.
Don't we have an actual human here? Can we confirm that Zander knows what he's talking about?
I mean, yeah, Zeus. Are we talking about Zeus?
Yeah, some sky god.
One of many, yes.
Is he randomly horny all the time?
Yeah, I wouldn't say random if it's consistent, but yeah.
Fair.
So I think we just need to write large alien, big-breasted alien bimbos that direction on a big sign. We just like post it out a window.
Big-breasted, you say. I press a button and my breasts inflate.
Can we send him a message that's like how we use our communicator to communicate with Zander's Moss friend here? Can we just send something that's like, hot, big-breasted local androids want to meet you?
In your area? Yeah, I love
It's a
that.
virus.
Spam message. Yeah, I love this. Okay, if we want it to be a virus, which I love this idea, I'm going to need Fox, our android engineer, to craft this message. Let me know what you want the virus to do when they open it up.
I like stall the engines. Then they're just dead in the water, and we got time to think about what it is that we want to do.
Yeah,
If they can't fix it, then they are forced to resort to cannibalism. Just like on Cannibalon 5.
All right. So
Cannibal
you are
Way
going
better food than Cannibalons 1 through 4.
So you are going to write a virus or a message that says, I'm sorry, what was it? Big-breasted androids.
In your big-breasted androids
want to talk to you.
Big-breasted androids in your area.
Yes, right. Local
And of course,
androids in your area want to
do I need to
a sexy talk.
do I need to roll anything to take sexy boudoir shots of AroOoga Bot?
No, I think that's an AroOoga Bot making a feelings roll to create those sexy images. Let's see how enticing you can be.
Am I a genius at that?
You definitely get to roll 3d6 and you just have to roll over a 2.
So I've got a 2, a 5, and a 6.
Okay, so you were successful on all 3, which means it's a critical success. So not only do you take beautiful, stunning photos.
It's almost as if I were made for this.
You managed to use your data processing to access some information about Zorgon. and the planet that he comes from, and originally, and what you discover is exactly what would be attractive, what is considered attractive on his home planet, and you
Noted.
adapt your body to his exact desires with the information that you got from AroOoga Bot, Angel 8. You also get 3d6 to roll for your lasers to craft this virus because you have extra health.
I have a 1, a 4, and a 5. And my number is a 4.
Okay, so you got 2 successes, which means that you succeed in creating a virus that will stall their ship. You send that message out while you wait for your sensors to pick it up. You do receive a message back from your Moss friend, and it just says, "No go, dude. This rock is the only rock that has the mineral that we need. We've got to stay here. It is, if we don't get this, the deadly space rot continues to ravage the galaxy and billions will die." And now, yes, he opens the virus, or at least somebody on Zorgon's ship does, I guess. It turns out that when the engines stall out and their engineer traces it back to this message they received with the virus, that no one wants to fess up to opening it. Isn't that weird? Everyone's like, no, I would never do that. No, everybody knows that that's a virus. Like, I would absolutely not. Never in a million years would I do something like that. So while all of them are busy blaming each other for opening this message that nobody actually opened, they are essentially dead in space. Their engines have stalled. I would say that they are now, though, because you guys have been sending messages and doing some other stuff, they are in your system now. So they're pretty nearby to you guys. Even your ship, which is not particularly fast, could reach them pretty quickly.
How visually identifiable is our ship as a consortium vessel?
I would say that you probably have a consortium emblem on the outside of your ship. So if somebody is looking, it would be visually identifiable. Almost all consortium ships do, unless you are specifically a stealth vehicle, which you guys are not.
Because here's my train of thought, which I'm just going to give to the crew, and you folks can decide what you think of it. Nobody. So we've tried getting the Star Dreadnought to leave. That didn't work because space rock. We recognize that neither the Dreadnought nor us has enough guns to do anything against Zorgon. Those two things being true, we can't run away and we can't outfight them. We have to think a little bit. What if we went and said, and like we were some kind of like roadside assistance kind of thing, and be like, hey, something seems to be wrong with your ship. Can we help? And maybe we could get on board the ship and maybe we could do something to hurt or stop or kill or whatever Zorgon.
Wonderful. I have the perfect tool for exactly this. For dealing with Zorgon. Apparently, the ancient writings say that Zorgon has only one weakness: a sock full of nickels.
Perfect. A sock full of what's a nickel?
Oh no! I just know that they're these little round metal things, so I just filled it with a bunch of round metal things. I don't know where I took them from. I just hope they're nothing important.
And then why are there no washers on any of the bolts in this ship?
Yes.
Oh no!
Wall panels start falling in everywhere.
Just like it flashes over to the reason that we only have one working medical pod, because I took all the round metal things out from it, from the rest of them.
Who was the manufacturer of this ship? Going?
Oh.
Anyway, that's my idea is we go and pretend we're roadside assistants and see if we can get them to let us on board.
My
I
concern is that if Zorgon is X us, I feel like they will be hostile.
I was going to propose, if we go through with this plan, would it be beneficial to disguise our ship in some way?
I have spray paint and stickers.
Great. I love it. So you can go ahead and put on your vac suit. Grab some paint and stickers.
Since I've got a lot of extra tentacles there, yeah, I could work like 3 spray cans at once. Can I help?
Yes, I love that. Okay, so
I'll
go
carry you on my
ahead
back like the Luke Skywalker Yoda scene.
So go
I
ahead
can
and
be
add
a
1d6. So now you roll 3d6 and just tell me what your numbers are.
1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, and 6. Okay, so you got 2 successes underneath your lasers and feelings roll, which means that you do it well. Everything works. So you guys head out there and using multiple cans of spray paint and all of Dr. Jehoshaphat McTentacles' many tentacles, actually create a decent cover-up of the consortium logo, giving you guys a really cool emblem instead. I think it is a really cool Velociraptor, and just under it are the words "We help fast."
There's got to be some sort of dinosaur pun we can make there.
I recognize that it's the wrong dinosaur, but we fix your T-Rex.
Oh.
Okay. No, I love that.
Yes.
I think that's great. Yep.
I think it's even better that it's the wrong dinosaur.
And now, I think it's probably time for everybody to go, where the heck is our token human?
We need
Yeah,
somebody to pilot us over there.
I was gonna say, I guess at this point we navigate towards the Zorgon ship now.
Mhm.
Can I roll all 3 since this is like my thing?
Yes, and you are prepared and an expert. Yes, you can. And you just need to get below 3.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Unless you're gonna, use your feelings. Okay, go ahead.
I got a 5, 4, and 1. Not
Hey,
great.
yeah, but you got 1 success.
Yeah.
So they say, all right, we need to fly over to Zorgon, the great god of the stars. And you go, all right, yeah, no problem. I was born for this. And then as you start to take the ship out, you realize that this beautiful new paint job
Yeah.
is actually covering several of the sensors that you normally use to correctly fly the ship.
Fun.
And as a result, your readouts are all over the place. You can't find the equilibrium. And instead of flying the way that you normally do, you are having to correct constantly and use visual cues and try and get a feel for the ship. And it's a big struggle to get over there. You do, however, barely manage to make it.
Cool.
But you do know that your nimbleness has been decreased because of this.
Sorry, Cyn, about the paint. I don't know how ships work.
Fair. It looks sick though.
Does look sick. If you can fix the ship, Angel 8, that would be great.
Can
I
I
don't know
scrape
how.
the paint off the sensors?
Yeah, you could definitely scrape the paint off the sensors if you wanted to, or you could try to commune with the ship.
I could commune with the ship. I can always commune with the ship. What would that achieve?
So communing with the ship, you could maybe get her to reroute some sensors.
Hmm. 4, a 1, and a 2.
You reach out to commune with the ship, and you're extending your feelings. It's something that you're working really hard at because you just want to be able to connect to this ship. You It's something that androids are just supposed to be able to do, and it seems like AroOoga Bot can literally connect to everything, and so you're a little bit jealous. Reach out with your feelings, and you're like, "We're gonna do this, you and I. We're gonna. I really just want to be your friend. I really want to be with you. I'm your engineer, and you're my ship. We're supposed to have a special bond."
I'm trying to think
And
of
what you get back is sort of the ship's equivalent of, "I have a headache, so I'm gonna go to sleep. Thanks."
Cool. I respect that. I respect her autonomy.
You have made it to Zorgon's ship. Are you gonna hail them? Actually, I think you guys fly up and they hail you.
Legit.
Are we
So
wearing? Sorry.
Can
Go ahead,
I don't mind keeping my suit on, but is there a way I can like cover up the logo?
This is what I was going to bring up as well.
yes. You guys did think when you were painting over the ship, you were also like, "Oh, we should maybe not be wearing a consortium uniform."
That's why I found us all overalls.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody has on a set of, I think, coveralls, like a classic, like mechanics coveralls.
Yeah, I'll have coveralls, but they're all my size.
Yeah, they are not comfy. And they definitely do not really fit either of our aliens correctly in any sort of way. And Cyn, yours are huge.
Can I roll up the sleeves?
Yeah, so you've got the sleeves like all the way rolled up, and the legs all the way rolled up, but the like neck is just like baggy hanging on you.
I've rolled up mine as well, but mine is too small on me. So now it just looks like I'm wearing a crop version of it. Or like a what a romper? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
And I've got two of my tentacles that are just being used to hold up the shoulders.
Mm.
If it over your chest, it's just all the way unbuttoned.
Yeah,
No, that's how AroOoga Bot wears it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so the three of you look a little awkward. Angel 8 looks pretty normal. This is a pretty normal outfit, looks just fine. AroOoga Bot looks good.
AroOoga Bot always looks good.
Yeah,
To be honest.
Yep, that's their default setting. You guys pull up, and shortly after you pull up, the ship's interface blinks, and on every screen in the whole ship, Zorgon shows up. And he's an intimidating figure, tall, definitely tall, and massive. It turns out Cyn looks at him and goes, "Huh, the Zeus comparison wasn't a bad one." He does, however, have 4 arms, which is what
so we can get 4.
Yeah, so you can see 4 arms, and I would say that the most notable feature about him is that he is blue, but sort of an iridescent blue. You can see why God of the Stars might have happened, even if no one saw him come from space. He's got this sort of night sky vibe going on. He definitely has a mouth, and he has several eyes, but the rest of his face isn't arranged the way that Cyn you would be used to. So his mouth is actually in the upper portion of his face, and eyes are sort of scattered around what would be the general facial region. And he doesn't have any hair to speak of, but you notice that there are these weird wisps that kind of float around him, and they do seem to be part of him, even though they're not physically attached. But they move when he moves and would sort of flow as if, like, imagine that your hair, instead of being attached to your head, was just like out here existing. Angel 8, you were alerted to the fact that the other, so his ship obviously has fighter craft And so you are alerted to the fact that the fighter craft have slowly started to surround you. And Cyn, you notice this from where you sit in the cockpit. He says, "Hail, Raptor, what brings you to my ship?"
We noticed that you were stuck out here in the midst of nowhere, and we thought that maybe that we might just, help out a fella, but, not, of course, for free, because, we are running a business here. So we just need to ask you, would you be so kind as to, help us out so we can help you out? That makes sense.
Go ahead and roll me a feelings.
Well, 3?
Okay, so you rolled a 3. Laser feelings. Which means you do succeed. You barely managed to succeed, but it is a success. And you also get to ask another question.
What can I do to make Zorgon believe that I don't intend him any harm?
Okay. So in order to convince Zorgon that you don't intend him harm, he would need a proof of your abilities to fix the ship. He would actually need service to happen in order for you to gain his trust.
And then I can kill him with a sock full of nickels. His only weakness.
And he says, "Yes, actually, our ship is in need of repair. We received a virus sent through a message opened by somebody who clearly wasn't paying attention. They will, of course, be disciplined properly when I figure out who it was. You do understand, of course, that we are slow to trust here. There are many who have come after Zorgon, the great god of the stars. There are many who would like to see me fall. So we will need to search everybody who comes aboard, and my craft will continue to have you surrounded."
We should, I think, figure out how we want to split this. Because I think we should leave at least Cyn on the ship.
Getaway driver, sure.
Yeah. And obviously we need Angel 8 to go on board since they're the only one who has any chance of actually doing any repairs.
While you guys were having your discussion, Zorgon cut the feed, and you hear the sound of your ship coupling with his ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't get too turned on.
Thank you.
I know
Horny
what
androids.
this means.
Yeah,
I have experienced this
with someone
many
else.
times before.
really, after rejecting you moments ago, Angel 8, she is in fact coupling. The three of you make your way to the airlock, which opens. And when you enter the other ship, after you go through the airlock and, that whole wonderful process, you find yourselves surrounded by a retinue of guards, all of them armed, and a varied amount of species. You see humans, you see aliens, and some androids as well. What unifies them all that you notice is that everybody is wearing, so rather than they are all wearing uniforms, but all of their uniforms have a cutout in the center of the chest.
Titty window.
Yeah. Yes. That is star-shaped, and inside that, on whatever skin metal substance they're normally have, they have a Z insignia that is either a tattoo or a carving or whatever would work for their specific anatomy. So a permanent marking of a Z inside this star-shaped titty window.
Brand recognition.
Yep.
The unintended through line.
I'm learning so much about economics.
These are
The
the
biggest
weird
space mystery of them all.
one of the guys walks up to you and pats you each down. Your variable beam phase pistols are all removed and held, and they say we will return these to you when you leave the ship. And they also search and remove any and all socks that you happen to have.
So now
Look, I need to wear these. You don't want to smell what happens when I'm not wearing these.
It doesn't matter. They say.
Do they leave us the washers?
Yeah, the washers stay. It's just the socks that are removed. Those aren't nickels, so they're not at all concerned about them. So you pass this screening, and at that point, one of the retinue says, all right, follow me to engineering. And they turn and march you guys towards the engine bay.
I would like to just sort of get a feel for whether there's anything that rises to the level of interesting in the corridors as we're walking. Like anything that feels like I should notice that for later.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a lasers roll, and you can roll 2d6 for this.
Okay. That's a 2, and that's a 1.
All right, so you rolled under your number for both of them. So you are successful. As you're walking along, you don't necessarily notice anything out of the ordinary in the ship. Like, there doesn't seem to be anything strange about this ship in particular. What you are able to gather on this walk is that it is clearly a well-armed ship. You pass several weapons control stations as you are walking along, because you are essentially like, imagine that like the bridge is here on the ship and the docking port is here and the engines are all the way in the aft. So you walk all the way along one side of the ship. And if this was like a pirate ship, you would be like, oh, wow, there's a cannon every 5 feet on this ship all along the side. So you do notice that that is useful information, but isn't unusual. Like, nothing strikes you as weird. You also note as you pass the commissary. So you guys pass where their food is, essentially. And you also pass some orders. And while you pass that, you do glance into the quarters, and you notice that they're pretty sparse as far as most quarters go. Although it's not like your ship's quarters are particularly luxurious. AroOoga Bot is the only one with fancy ship's quarters, and that is just because entertainment takes priority. And so these
it's what they call an android's touch.
And these quarters are pretty sparse. You're looking at like small rooms with like 4 bunks and a little desk space and some drawer space. But the thing that you do notice that does stand out is that every single one of these rooms has a ceiling that is designed to look like a portal to space. So it's filled with sky and stars. We're going to flip back over to our 2 on the ship real quick.
Cyn, can I confide with you? I would very much like to have relations with the Zai, whatever his name is.
A sigh of relief from Cyn. I think being on this very horny ship has made Cyn asexual.
Oh, are these the vibes that you are getting?
I misunderstood until you finished that sentence, but yes, go on. Go on.
Part of me wonders how I can achieve this goal, especially given that I am on this ship and not the one that he is on.
I mean, like phone sex is a thing in space, right?
Hmm. But how will he know how gorgeous I really am?
Zoom phone sex?
Hmm. You are brilliant beyond your years.
They don't call me
Perhaps,
that.
perhaps we shall try communicating.
All right. Do you want to hail Zorgon while this is
It's
happening?
like a Star Trek situation where like when the captain from another ship hails, it's like a big screen in the cockpit where everyone can see. Okay, cool.
Yep. It's absolutely that sort of situation. I mean, you can obviously do private hails, that would just go to one screen in one space. But also you can just do a public hail, and AroOoga Bot is not great with lasers, so I don't know how it would go to happen a hail.
I think that's even more all the reason to try.
All right. If you're into that, I love it. You can roll 3d6, but you are trying to use lasers to
Okay.
hail this guy, so you need to roll under your number. This is to make contact.
So I got a 6, a 3, and a 1.
All right. So you do succeed in hailing the other ship.
Oh, thank fuck.
However, you do not succeed in doing a private hail message specifically to Zorgon. AroOoga Bot has no idea that things did not go the way you intended. So everybody else, as you're walking toward the engine bay, you suddenly see screens all along the ship light up. And there is newly triple-breasted AroOoga Bot doing what? What are you doing on your
I think
call?
that I think I'm laying there uh like Kate Winslet in Titanic, like full on like your French android. And I think what they're saying is something along the lines of, so you claim to be a god. Do you wish to prove that?
The engines may be the least of our worries at this point.
You guys are walking down the corridor, and you see this come up. I don't know how it affects you on a personal level, but
This must be nothing our crew has not seen before.
correct. That's what I imagine. But because AroOoga Bot did not succeed in sending this just to Zorgon, and instead sent it to the whole ship, the guy who opened the message previously has a momentary panic. But then,
Yeah, he's gonna out himself.
yep, yeah. But unfortunately, the roles mean that he has decided he waited out and it's worth the punishment. So he is reporting into the bridge and just says,
He doesn't run past us, does he?
no, he does not. He reports in from where he is because it's broadcast over the entire ship. So to the bridge, he just goes, Your Almighty, sir, I just need to tell you something. That android in that image there, that's the one. That was the image that was in the missive that contained the virus. And definitely don't ask me how I know that, but I promise you it's the same one. And Zoran goes, trace that call. Where's it? Where's that hail coming from? Meanwhile, you guys, as you're walking, one of a few of your retinue have like stopped to look. A couple of them are like, interesting. But one of the ladies who's with you glances up at the screen and she goes, there are many who wish to bed Zorgon, the great god of the stars, and there are many who have. The engines are this way. and continues just walking you along the path. Meanwhile, AroOoga Bot, you are getting a lot of feedback. You have a lot of people being like, yes, I am a god. Where do I find you? What, as you're trying to process all of this sensory stuff coming your way. And as you are trying to figure that out, where a bunch of people are being like, yeah, I'll prove to you I'm a god. I can definitely be a god. Yeah, we'll be. I'm a minor deity in the pantheon of Zorgon, the great god of the stars. But not that minor, I promise you. Like I'm like a big
I'm
minor
major
deity.
where it counts.
Meanwhile, the woman who is directing you has reached the engine room. As you guys get settled in there, she holds her hand up to her comms. I guess she's got them in her ear now. I've just decided that in this moment. So she holds her hand up to her comms, and suddenly the entire retinue has guns trained on you. And she says, the virus that stopped our engines came from your ship.
Jehoshaphat here looks at her and says, so it's a virus that's disabled the engines. That's good to know. What else is it working about? I'm just going to pretend nothing happened.
Go ahead and roll a feelings check for me.
So I got a 5 and a 2.
Yeah. So you do succeed. So you do that, and you manage to persuade her to let you continue. And she says the package was opened, and it caused the engines to stutter and die. Everything else about the ship is functioning properly. And then she says, we will give you 5 minutes to fix it.
If I can get the engines working, but rig it in such a way that it's a temporary solution and it will work until we can get away and then stop working again. That was my thought. I don't know if that's possible.
Okay. And Sam, did you have something?
Yeah. When they took my phaser and my off-brand laser rifle, whatever it was, did they leave me my super souped up phone?
Yes, you do have your super souped up phone.
Then I'm going to use my super souped up phone and scan the engine just to see if I can figure out what the hell's wrong with it and whether there's any chance of fixing it. Not that I know anything about engines. My degree's in xenobiology, but
yeah, go ahead. You can roll a 1 dice, and it's a lasers roll, so you want to roll under a 4.
That's a 3.
Okay. So you do succeed in scanning the engines. You figure out exactly what was wrong. A virus was sent that caused them to shut down. It's a self-replicating virus, and if you can destroy this virus, the engines will start back up. It's essentially a command repeatedly telling the engines turn off, turn off, turn off, turn off every time somebody tries to send them a signal to turn on.
And then I just toss the thing over to Angel 8 and say, here's the problem.
Yes.
You definitely already knew that was the problem, but
I know. But that's Jehoshaphat for you.
I appreciate your assistance.
No problem.
So I love the idea of you rigging the engines so that they are going to restart right now, but the virus essentially is going to be cocooned to like slow release later. So you go ahead and roll lasers, and you get 3d6 for this. 1 because you get it, 1 because you're an expert, and 1 because Jehoshaphat helped you, Give you a full readout of their engines, which you didn't necessarily know the inner workings of their engines before this, even though you knew what was wrong with them. So you got 2 successes, which means that you are able to succeed in exactly what you want. So you cordon off the virus and set a timer for it. How much time are you giving it?
How long would it take them to get to the Dreadnought from here?
The Dreadnought, it's probably I mean, we've just decided that space travel moves really, really fast. So it's roughly like a 2-hour flight over there.
Cool. I'll give them 1 hour.
Okay. So you set a timed release of 1 hour, cordon them off, and you kick the engines back into gear. And the engines hum up, and the group looks at you and says, we're going to need someone to test it. At this moment, you over in the other ship hear the sound of the Raptor uncoupling with the starship.
Great.
You guys don't notice this inside the starship. You're too far away. But the group in the Raptor, you guys hear this happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you notice that you're no longer connected to that ship. When that happens, you notice all of the little fighter craft that were surrounding you are still there, but the other ship starts to pull away. You guys in the engine room, the engines kick on. She says, we're going to need somebody to test this, and then says the engines are functional. And then you guys feel the ship moving.
I do jazz tentacles and say, we fix your wrecks. Because I have no sense of anything.
Can I ask if they're good? Y'all good out there? What's bye, I guess?
Hey, it's
I
me,
assume that this
your
is
boy.
intercepting my communication to the other ship.
So you guys have your communicators. That is separate than hailing the other ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, noted.
Mm-hmm.
So we're on the phone, but the TV's still on real loud.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're getting that
Hey,
weird.
I'm
it's
not
me,
paying attention. I'm on the TV.
your boy. Gonna murder some people. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag carnage. Hashtag might die. Hashtag fun times though. Hashtag sexy robot aliens.
Can I just text back
Sent.
maybe don't with the shrugging emoji?
Your guys' group chat is an incredible place to be.
Hey, it's me, your boy. I would like to become captain of this ship. Because it will be funny for me.
Okay, well maybe that's like plan D or
And
F.
considering the fact that they already started with the Z, I don't even need to change the branding. My name is Zander Colfax. Hashtag Zeds work for me. Hashtag gonna murder a god. Send.
So while you are sorting through this other stuff, you do in fact get a message back from, like I said, several members of the crew. But one of those people is Zorgon.
Okay.
And it takes a little while to like sort through everything. But he is much better at the ship's hailing system. And you see only Zorgon standing there, shirtless now.
Okay.
You do notice that it was clear before that he was like standing on the bridge, and that is not what you see in the background now. He says, you seem worthy of a god, and one of the fighter crafts docks with your ship.
I feel like I just turned back and like is there any way for me to do more research on the Zorgon guy while all of this chaos is happening? Because I kind of want to understand better why he's going after the Dreadnought in the first place. Because he doesn't seem necessarily malicious or like destructive. He's a conqueror, not a destroyer. So like, why would he want something that could take out solar systems?
Yeah, so you can do that. I feel like that's a feelings roll.
I got a 2 and a 5, so the 5, I guess.
Okay, so you get one success. So you are digging through the archives trying to figure out like what is Zorgon's whole deal. You know the history that like they told you when you realized he's Zorgon, the great god of the stars. But you're trying to figure out like what does he possibly want with this star Dreadnought. What you discover as you're digging through your research, what Zorgon is interested in, and the reason that he wants to destroy this dreadnought is that he wants to be the only one with the knowledge of where those systems are.
So do I get the vibe that he also wants to take out everybody on that ship because they also have that knowledge and he wants to be the only one with that knowledge?
You get the vibe that blowing up the ship is the only way to for sure destroy the knowledge. And so that's why he wants to blow up the ship.
I guess
You
more for
only had one success, though. And so you figure this out, but also somehow in your research, you stumble upon a bunch of Zorgon, the great god of the stars, like information. And you discover
yes.
that like you really actually vibe with this guy and what he believes. Like he seems pretty magnanimous, you know, he's really there for these lower planets and for an everyman, and he, you know, brings in his technology and like lifts people up, and sure, he like asks for contributions, but like that's his right as a god, you know, and overall he seems pretty cool. You're really starting to drink a little bit of the Kool-Aid here.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
In all of my searching, can I find a kink or something to give to AroOoga Bot?
So you find information about various carnal offerings that have been given to him over the years, and you discover that almost all of these carnal offerings involve colorful ribbons and ties.
Oh, cute.
Mm-hmm.
You say ties. Do you mean like neckties or like ties?
Oh, I mean like ties.
Got it. Okay. I mean, technically, one could be used for the other. But...
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I thought they were hair ties, so I thank you for asking.
Yeah, I wear my ties around my neck and with a business suit all the time. So, yeah.
Look, whenever I put on someone's tie, it's always like this.
I definitely pass this information along to AroOoga Bot.
But you definitely say it as hair ties. I love this.
That's fine. Yeah.
Hair ties.
Yeah. Maybe like some rainbow colored stuff, I think. And maybe play up the God thing, because apparently he's into sex, but only like in a religious context, I suppose.
I'm going to leave you guys for a moment. We're going to go back over to the group on the God of the Starship. You still have a set of guns trained on you. The ship is moving. She says simply, once the engines have proven their mettle, we will let you out at our destination.
Yes, are we being kidnapped?
No, we are simply retaining your services until such time as they are no longer needed. You will, of course, be compensated.
I've been around too many weird cults in my life that this just seems highly suspect, because I am a feelings person.
Yeah, go ahead and make a feelings roll for me.
Cool, 4 and 5.
Okay. So you were successful listening to her. It's actually clear to you that she is entirely sincere. They're retaining your services to ensure that the ship is working. They do plan to compensate you for the time that you are spending, and they do plan to get you back to your ship once they've reached their destination.
Oh, our ship. I thought you were going to leave us on the... Okay, that makes more sense. We usually work a contracted amount of hours, and I don't think we actually work those hours. So if there's any other like small fix-ups around the ship we can do that your boss knows about, is probably the best way to do it.
You say that, and one of the other guys goes, you know, the food processor on the level 2 commissary isn't working. And one of the other guys goes, there is no hot water in the showers in Bay 7. And one of the other guys goes, you know, I've been asking for a while about the star projection system in entertainment block 3. It's been totally on the fritz. And instead of showing the newest episodes of Don't You Want to Be a God, it just does nothing but replays of that last consortium debate election, and it's so boring.
Well then, is there any way that we could demonstrate the effectiveness of the engines in a more timely manner? And the only reason I ask is that we have some other jobs scheduled around the system, and our Yelp review, like when you get late, you get the bad Yelp reviews, it downvotes you on all of the social media sites, and it is so much work to get that fixed. So,
It
like,
really
is
is.
there
Those
is there any way that we can make this like we'll do whatever it is you want with the engines, but that we can get back because we got time crunch.
Go ahead and roll a feelings roll for me.
So this is a 2, a 5, and a 6.
So you had 2 successes. So you actually are that's a very persuasive argument. And she goes, oh my goodness. So we wouldn't want to impinge upon your livelihood, of course. And she says, Bridge, is there a way that we could do a better engines check and then return them to their ship? And she listens and hears back and she says, all right, the pilot has decided that we will do several maneuverability checks to ensure the full function of the engines, and then we will return you. However, this set of exercises will still take about 20 minutes. And one of the guys goes, oh my God, can you guys fix the food processor on level 3 in 20 minutes? Because I would like to eat something other than this weird, mushy tofu gelatinous pudding stuff that it keeps spitting out.
I have no issue with fixing anything that needs to be fixed.
You guys start walking back. They're leading you towards the commissary. There are still guns trained. You get the feeling that there might have been less guns, but Zander keeps mouthing off. And so the guns remain.
To everyone else, he goes, sorry, I need to take care of some internal business, because if I don't handle it, my Yelp reviews are going to suck.
They're happy to, like, 2 of the retinue follow you and will lead you towards a restroom. And while you're doing that, they take you to the commissary. Meanwhile, we're going to jump back over to the Raptor. Out your viewport, Cyn, you watch as the other ship starts to do a series of complicated maneuvers and twists and turns.
Is this showboating?
Yes, it does. To you, it does seem that way. You have no idea why they're doing this or whatever, but it really does seem like the ship is being like, nah, 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 look what we can do.
And I look at her.
Yes. So it seems that this god person is a romantic.
Oh, it does do something for you. Okay.
I love that. The captain of the other ship thinks that they're just doing a set of maneuvers that have been laid out by Zorgon as, test evasive maneuvers, not realizing that it is the love language of his ideal person, which AroOoga Bot has turned into. Incredible. When you saw another ship coupling, did you go to investigate the airlock? Or are you just assuming they'll come to you?
Oh, they'll come to me. I'm gonna leave like a path.
I would like you to roll feelings to commune with the ship and convince it to create romantic lighting that leads to your quarters.
Oh, I like that.
So you got 1 success. You reach out to the ship and you explain that you want to draw this guy to your room, and make sure that he knows exactly how to find you. And the ship listens to you, but the complication is that while you turn on these lights and they do easily guide him there, the lighting effects and the way that it's happening is like a huge turnoff for Zorgon, unfortunately. And so by the time he reaches you, although he has made his way there, he's a bit of a cold fish at this point.
Not for long.
So you're gonna.
He's on our ship.
Work.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you miss that part? I mean, you don't know that, but and when he gets there, he says, well, I must admit that I'm not entirely sure why I'm here anymore. Perhaps I ought to return to my ship.
Are you so certain, oh mighty conqueror? And I pull out one of the hair ties. And I sort of I stretch it like this, like ooh wee.
Could restrain someone with those.
Yeah,
good
you
work.
definitely could. Please roll feelings, and you get 3 dice for this.
2 2s and a 1.
So 2 successes. So you actually succeed. So you pull out the hair ties and also some of the ribbons, and like as you're messing with them and playing with them, he starts to be like, all right, yeah. He steps in and he says, all right, you've won me over. What is your name?
My name is AroOoga Bot.
Well, you have won me over, AroOoga. I consider your offering worthy of the gods. You did get laser feelings. Is there a question you want to ask me?
Is there something in all of Zorgon's quests and accomplishments that he is missing? There's the want of getting this ship. What does he really need?
Ooh, what would really make him fulfilled? He's actually kind of lonely. You know, he's the single Zorgon, the great god of the stars, and he has a lot of followers and sycophants, but and these people who are minor deities, but no one has ever bothered to want to rise up and be his equal.
Once I have convinced Zordon, can it be Zordon?
Yes, he is now Zordon.
Yeah, fade to black, if you will.
Mm-hmm. As we fade to black, Cyn makes great use of the noise cancellation feature that has been installed on your room. So we leave you guys there. I'd like to come back over to our other group. So we do have Zander in the restroom, and we have Jehoshaphat and Angel in the commissary attempting to fix the food processor.
I'm going to use my scanner on the food processor again, since that's the only thing I can actually do.
Amazing. I love this.
I'm going to try and fix the food processor.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 3d6 because you get help from Jehoshaphat and his scanner, which gives you information.
I've got 2 3s and a 6.
2 successes. You pull apart the machine and you're like, this is an easy fix. I don't know why you guys have been struggling. And it takes you maybe 2 minutes to fix the whole thing. And I think when you finish fixing it, again, Jehoshaphat goes, we fix your T-Rex.
We fix your T-Rex.
And at this point, some of the guys are like applauding. They really are enjoying this. One of the guys goes, have you heard the good word of our Lord Gorgon, the great god of the stars?
Why, no, I haven't.
This turns into a preaching moment where they tell you the story of Gorgon, the great god of the stars, and all of the amazing things that he has done for the galaxy, and how he raises up people and how he cares for them, and how wonderful it is to be one of his followers and to be on the great god of the star ship, the dental care plan, and all of the other benefits, great living wages, your own quarters. It's a 3-day work week, which is probably why a lot of things are broken, but they like to gloss over that fact.
How are the benefits compared to what we're currently getting?
So as part of the consortium, like you have decent benefits. The consortium, this is a Star Trek, so it's like a utopia world, not a dystopia world. So you actually have pretty good benefits. They do expect a little bit more work out of you than obviously this group does. But one of the things that you really notice is that the consortium itself is still a government entity. So even though you guys are pretty close on your ship, there's still a pretty strict hierarchy, and that seems to be a lot less here.
Do you have some literature I could take?
Oh, they definitely do. Yeah. They hand you each a booklet, which is the stuff that Cyn had been reading on the ship. It's the Gospel of Zorgon.
I can see how I drank the Kool-Aid.
Jehoshaphat's stroking. He doesn't really have a chin, but something with one of his tentacles very thoughtfully.
And then we pop over to Zander. So you have 2 guards on you who both have their guns, but they do let you into the little bathroom stall on your own.
Is there a vent in the bathroom?
The only in and out in the stall is the waste receptacle, which you do not think you'd fit in. I mean, you could try, but...
I am very skinny, but I'm also 7 feet tall. I'm going to hide on the ceiling. Just like push hands against everything and just like wait from the top and just wait for them to check in on me.
And after a little while, they do knock on the door. And then when you don't respond, they say, we're coming in. And they open the door. What do you do?
I wait for both of them to enter the stall.
Okay.
Then I'd like to use my alien physiology, which allows me to stick to ceilings and other sheer surfaces. And just like climb out of the stall, then gently close the door.
Okay. All right.
And lock them inside.
Go ahead and roll another lasers.
2 and a 4.
So you get 1 success, which means that you do manage to sneak out and shut the door behind you. But there is a complication. As soon as you shut the door, it occurs to you that it's a bathroom stall, so it only locks from the inside.
Well, time to do what explorers do best. And I book it.
All right. So you run away. It does take them a little bit of time to get out just because the two of them are in this tiny stall and they're like attempting to like get the door resituated to get it open and figure out what happened. But one of the guys does get on his comms and he says, a member of the Raptor crew just locked us in the bathroom stall. We think he's dangerous. Somebody should apprehend him. Back over to your ship, Cyn. At this moment, you notice all of the battlecraft, the fighter craft that are not attached, break formation and fly back towards the other ship.
I texted the group, y'all good still?
Not sure.
We just fixed the replicator.
Oh, might be defecting. Yeah.
It's your boy. Why you defecting? Hashtag locked 2 guys in the bathroom. Hashtag haha. Hashtag now I'm running so fast. Hashtag they may never catch me.
I just put what? LOL. Honestly, I saw their benefits package and I'm also defecting.
Benefits, thumbs up emoji, thumbs up emoji.
These people like it when we fix things.
Describe these benefits.
How do you feel about dental care?
They have dental?
And
I
vision.
stop running. I walk back over. I surrender. I'd like to defect.
You walk back over, and there are actually now several guys, like when you appear. So it's not just the 2 guys you locked in the bathroom, but a bunch of people have come down the corridor. They all have their phasers set, and one of the guys goes, "Defect? What is that?"
Yes, no, you see, I work for an unpleasant corporation that may or may not be governmental, but I don't. You have dental. I'm all for it.
Oh, you wish to become a follower of Zorgon?
I mean, yeah, that's what my mom always wanted.
You are a legacy.
Oh no.
Tell us of your family name.
Well, I'm Colfax.
All right, so you do that, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, Colfax! No, but they're from this planet. Yes, no, they're one of the earliest." It's like, "Oh, we should see. Yes, we must send a message immediately." And then one of the other guys goes, "He locked us in the bathroom. Perhaps we should wait for Zorgon's divine judgment." And he points at you and he pulls the trigger. You are stunned. Well, everything goes black for you. Anybody watching in the corridor sees as they immediately catch him and scoop him up and take him to a small room and a nice bed where they set him. We come back over to AroOoga Bot. Actually, no, I don't think we do yet. Sorry. Let me not discount your stamina that much. So instead, we'll go back to the 2 who've gotten the speech.
Are you thinking what I am also thinking?
I think so, but you say it first.
We would like dental.
Yes, and vision.
And vision. I would like to have teeth. I think that sounds fun.
Sounds terrifying.
So many teeth. Gotta catch them all.
I wonder if there's a limit to how many teeth you can have. Hey, some of my cousins have teeth on their suckers. That's an actual terrifying thing that squid have. So,
Whatever I want.
so maybe I can have more teeth.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, dental is part of it. Although we don't often add teeth, but I'm sure that is an option. We are so delighted to have you. And they all just seem so happy. The guns disappear. Like no one has phasers pointed at you guys anymore. One of the guys says, "So we can certainly take you down to initiation." So you guys are taken down to where you're going to get uniforms and stuff like that. So lights back up, and the 2 of you with rainbow arrays of hair ribbons and hair ties tied all over your body. Like you almost look dressed now, but it's just colorful ribbon.
I would like to Amy Poehler in Mean Girls and like just knock on AroOoga's door. If y'all need anything, I've got snacks, a condom, maybe not the condom. I don't know what you're into.
I'm gonna like open the door enough that I can like have one eye poking out, but one arm reaching for the snacks to take them in, and just one final look at that eye that's like, get fucking lost, and then closing the door.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, look, my human friend has brought snacks. I do not know if you need sustenance, but if you do, here are snacks.
And he says, much work has been done. Sustenance would be lovely. I appreciate the offering.
You know, if I am being honest, I did enjoy our session, perhaps more than I ever have before. It was powerful and wild, and dare I say, bracing. Though the part that I did not expect, and perhaps the part that was most moving, was how tender you were.
I love this. Please roll 3d6 for your feelings.
Can I ask, are you telling the truth?
Me?
Yeah. Like, was it
Yeah,
actually
sure.
good?
Why the fuck not? 2, 3, and 4.
All right. So you were successful on all 3 counts, and you give this praise. And Zorgon's words say, well, of course it was wonderful. After all, I am Zorgon, the great god of the stars. But his body language and his face say, oh my God, you thought I was good? Wow. That's so nice. I really had a wonderful time. And you can easily read that in between what is his obvious magnanimous words, where he says, I'm glad that I, Zorgon, the great god of the stars, could prove my worth as a god and be pleasing to you. And he goes, you asked me here, saying, do you believe you are a god? Come to prove it. Do you feel that I have proven it? And you get the feeling, looking at him, that like this is a very important question. He really wants to know the answer, and he's a little insecure about it.
I think yes, though perhaps not in the way that you might think. You wield your power and your might and your strength, but I think that it was truly the moments of vulnerability where you truly showed where your strengths lie, and that was truly when I was, how do you say, conquered.
Mm.
Oh, damn.
Incredible. Did you have a question?
I'm really rooting for Zorgon.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. How cool do you think Zorgon would be if we were to get in a relationship, if I were still fucking anything I possibly could for science?
Oh, I mean, I feel like he'd probably be okay with that, because he also would still sleep with offerings.
Oh, okay, cool.
You know,
cool.
but they don't mean anything.
Okay, good.
He sleeps with offerings all the time. He's never been nervous around them.
Excellent.
But they also have never shown up with hair ties.
Listen, I got secrets.
You say that, and you know his skin is blue, but he basically turns purple. Like he's blushing like head to toe, all the way down his chest, bright purple. And he says, I wish to make a request of you. If you would be so willing, I believe that I would benefit from having another great god of the stars.
This feels correct.
And then he says, would you like to join me as I travel the stars and conquer the worlds, and perhaps we can continue to conquer each other?
May I answer in the language I speak best? And I will lean in and kiss him.
Oh, All right. He puts his ship and says, um, pilot, I would like you to please return and know we will be adding one to our crew.
But before I go, I must speak to my pilot and let her down gently.
He says, of course, my stars, anything you need.
Thank you.
Right.
And so I'm gonna go to Cyn and say, I am so sorry, my friend. But it seems that I am entwined not simply corporally or sexually any longer with a god. And so it does seem that I will be leaving the this ship behind. I hope you can find it in your heart to see my side of things.
No, I mean, he seems sick as hell. I'm just surprised you got married in like 30 minutes. I didn't know that was a
I
date.
would not go so far as a marriage.
Oh, commitment. You're leaving the ship.
We are playing it, as they say, by ear.
Ah, that seems
But yes, I will be going with him now.
so I'm just gonna be here by myself.
Unless you're defecting too.
But okay, he sounds cool as hell. Don't get me fucking wrong. The dental, the packages seems to be bettering the universe. I don't know how destroying the solar system fits into all that. Like that's still gonna happen.
At this moment, Zorgon, who looks a little bit more decent now, although he still has several ribbons tied around his arm, comes to join you on the bridge and says, "Oh, is this your pilot?"
Yes, this is. Her name is Cyn Solo, and I believe she has something she would like to ask of you.
Of course, I apologize for taking AroOoga Bot away from you, but I wouldn't want to be without them for another moment.
Yeah, nope, that's fine. That's totally fine. Um, big fan of your work. What's your next moves? What you doing out here in this side of the galaxy?
Ah, yes. Well, my ship is here because we have been tracking the Star Dreadnought. It's a consortium. I'm sure you are aware of the consortium, terribly rigid organization that really just doesn't embrace individual freedoms and equality the way that I wish they would. But they have a research vessel out here, the Star Dreadnought, and it has been collecting samples and specimens from class level 1 and 2 civilizations across the planet. And so we are here because I would like to return those specimens to their homes and also eliminate the Star Dreadnought so that their research and collection ways cannot continue.
That sounds pretty cool. I like the whole returning the history back to where it came from. But the whole destroying the ship thing doesn't sound like your brand, sir.
There is no other ship like the Star Dreadnought, and the man who built its capabilities is no longer alive as he passed. So I figured if we destroy it, then that will stop them from creating something similar.
No, that makes sense logically. Yeah. It's also a one of a kind in that it has a ton of dark matter on it. That might be a problem for that solar system and any nearby solar systems when it creates a black hole and destroys all of us.
I'm sorry, it would create a black hole that would destroy the solar system?
Yeah.
We must redock with the ship at once. And you hear the coupling of the ship.
Redocking, you say? Oh, you mean literally. Ah, yes.
And then he just looks at you and says, "Come, my stars, there will be time for us later, but first, there's something very important we must do." And he says, "Cyn Solo, I owe you much." And then he sweeps you off to the other ship. You guys are in the room with the other people. They're like, they've been saying things to their comms. You're hearing like a lot of weird one-sided conversations. "I'm sorry, what would happen?" No, that can't be right. No, that's absolutely, it's the entire solar system. You're right, one of our engineers. We've got a new engineer. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could ask him. Hey, Angel, as part of the fixing that you guys do, could you fix the dark matter drive so it wouldn't explode when we destroy the ship? Or maybe like pull it out or something?
We got 666.
Well, unfortunately, you need to roll under.
Yeah, I know.
You do not think it's possible to destroy the ship and do the dark matter. Suddenly, Zorgon sweeps in with AroOoga Bot on his arm.
And Cyn trailing behind.
Yeah, and I guess Cyn trailing behind. And he says, "You are the engineer?"
Hello, friends. You have arrived. Yes.
So what is the answer?
I do not believe it is within my power, at least, to remove the dark matter from the ship or destroy the ship without, in some way, activating the dark matter.
All right, well, that's not something I want to do. And somebody pipes in and goes, "Sir, we didn't want to tell you this before, but that android was the image on the message that caused the virus that stopped our engines."
Oh my god, they stole her nudes.
Another catfish. Goddamn, this happens so often.
And weirdly, Zorgon doesn't look upset, and he looks at you and says, "Is that true? Did you disable our engines?"
I did not do anything to your engines. As you can see, I do not know how to use technology. However, I do not regret anything that has brought me to where we are at this moment.
Totally blushes again, and he squeezes your hands and he goes, "What about the rest of you? Did you disable our ship?"
Oh, to be fair, Zorgon, sir, we thought you were going to cause like a supermassive black hole that could potentially take out multiple solar systems. Can you blame us?
So if you disabled our ship, can you similarly disable the Star Dreadnought?
I suppose I can stop their engine. I am unsure if this fixes the problem.
It is a start. Will you help us?
Yes.
All right. So you guys get back in the ship. You agree. You fly to the Star Dreadnought, where you all disembark. Surprisingly, Zorgon and his team move through the ship with like as a surprising force, where they simply just ask everyone if they've heard of our Lord and God, the great God of the stars. And if people seem interested, then they sweep them up, and if they don't seem interested, then they knock them out, and they set them down very gently, and they put a nice glass of water next to them so that they can deal with the headache of waking up from being stunned later. And the ship is empty, and once the ship has been emptied, he comes to you, and I want you to do one final lasers roll to disable the Star Dreadnought.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
All right.
You get 3.
3, 6, and a 4. My number is 4.
Yes! Laser feelings! You are successful. Not only are you able to disable the engines, but you are able to make it so that they actually could not be repaired. And because the creator is dead, they also cannot be replaced. So while the ship is not destroyed, it will forever be attached to this rock and unable to travel anywhere else. While you are there, Zorgon and his people gather the specimens that they were looking for. And Jehoshaphat, you also let them know about the space rot study that was happening. You and Zander says,
yep.
And when you inform them of that, they say, oh, well, that is very important research. Perhaps, Jehoshaphat, would you like to head that up? We do have several other scientists on board.
That sounds like a great job.
And so they bring all of that data and they give that to you, and you get to solve the weird mystery of space rot.
Yay!
And
my doctorate in xenobiology finally paid off.
And they invite Cyn. You are not only trained, obviously, to pilot the main great god of the starship, but also to pilot any of the fighter craft, allowing you a lot of freedom to create and be nimble. They ask you if you would like to keep the Raptor or if you would like to send it off.
That sounds very wasteful.
So, no, you keep the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, so it just joins Zorgon's fleet. And when he then again speaks to Zander, he assumes, because Zander has done all of the talking, that Zander is the captain of the Raptor, and awards him captainship of the Raptor as part of, he goes, and yes, and you shall be the captain of the Raptor under, of course, our fleet. And you travel the stars with Zorgon, the great god of the stars, as he's very happily fulfilled with AroOoga Bot, and as both of them are happily fulfilled by many others. While you are traveling the stars, Angel has worked so hard repairing all of the things that are part of this ship. The showers start working and the food processors start working and everything starts working. You sit down one day and you go, this is it. I'm going to do it. And Angel sits down and places their hands on the sides of the ship, closes their visual receptors, and reaches out with their feelings to say, I care for you. You're important to me. And the ship reaches back and says, I have been waiting for someone like you.
And I smile with all of my teeth.
That is the end.
Yeah.
That's the best possible ending. Yes.
That was the best possible ending.
It was an absolutely fantastic game. 10 out of 10 would recommend Lasers and Feelings. It is a fun, easy system. Did this go in a completely different direction than I thought that it would? Absolutely, because I expected us to be more lasers and instead we were more feelings, despite the fact that we had a lot of laser-oriented people. But it was super fun, and I really love playing these one-sheet RPGs, and I'm definitely going to continue. I'll see you tomorrow.